that this bill does nothing to directly harm trans youth or impact their freedoms, yet they demonize the medical professionals and parents who provide gender-affirming medical and mental health treatment to their children. Even the consideration of transitioning is criminalized in House Bill 470, labeling it as unethical and unprofessional practice. These bills also endanger students by requiring teachers and administrators to inform parents of social transitioning, as stated in Senate Bill 150, regardless of home environment or circumstance. These bills do nothing to define what qualifies as gender transition services, creating gaps that leave room for these laws to be applied in circumstances that are not specifically enumerated in the bill or are totally outside of its scope. The lawmakers who vote for these bills, first and foremost, have no concept of the queer experience or knowledge in the medical field. They are operating on limited and unreliable information to demonize and oppress queer youth. They are also implicitly and explicitly using this bill as a stepping stone to the criminalization of transgender people in general, which is already happening in places like Florida, Texas, and Tennessee. This issue is not new. The genocidal attempts of so-called Christians have been perpetuated historically all over the world. The most obvious example is the persecution of queerness during the Holocaust, where they used the same rhetoric and that conservative politicians use now. They will use isolated incidents involving queer people to paint the rest of us as monsters. Before Adolf Hitler targeted gay men and women, Jews, people of color, or those on the autism spectrum, he sought to eradicate transgender people from the public sphere. Does that verbiage sound familiar? It should, because the right-wing media has been parroting this message for months now. While they may hide behind the virtue of protecting our children, these lawmakers don't care about the children who are actually in need of their protection. They would rather manufacture a hyperbolized image of our community that they can then weaponize, othering us and creating social hierarchies in minority communities. They turn us against each other because they know for a fact that a nation divided cannot unite to overtake the true aggressor. Cannot stop with queer youth and allies to show the government that we will not sit down, we will not be silent, we will not submit to their genocidal agenda. We must reach out to our siblings who are fighting for their rights separately from us, yet concurrently with us. We must include the Black and Indigenous people of color being targeted by police to a further extent than we already are. We must include the immigrants who are being targeted by right-wing policies, especially those undocumented immigrants who are at risk of being deported regardless of where they were born. We must include the feminists who are fighting every second of every day to preserve our right collectively to life and bodily autonomy. We must use this moment to unionize as a community, force them to hear our voices, and show them that we will not take this genocidal legislation laying down. The systemic, note that word, systemic oppression of minority groups has allowed for bigoted, hateful, and downright brainwashed people to openly attack us without fear of consequences because the government and law enforcement set that example for them. We must resist. We must prevail. We must march forward with our heads held high, because if they manage to silence us completely, we as a community will not survive. This is the 21st century, and yet somehow we have managed to regress politically and socially to an era of white supremacy and white nationalism with no room to allow for the rights of other groups to exist. Each of you, by being here today, are sending the message that we will not allow them to silence us. And for that, I want to commend all of us. We are brave. boisterous, and beautiful. We are a diverse community that spans the entire globe, and we are disrupting the status quo by simply drawing breath. To simply exist is an act of bravery. So as we wait anxiously to learn the fate of trans youth in Kentucky, don't forget what we have done here today simply by practicing our constitutional right to assemble. Don't forget the people that have stood beside you and those who have supported you through this terrifying political spectacle. Don't forget that we collectively are powerful and how that fact terrifies the conservative lawmakers who vote for this legislation. And finally, don't forget that we are human. And that fact alone makes us deserving of justice and equity. Thank you for being brave and surviving against all odds to be here today. Blessed be.
Thank you, Avon. That was actually that was wonderful. Anyways, next up we have Noah.
Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, great. Oh, yes. Yeah, I got you. Thank you so much. I love the signs. I love the Melanie Martinez reference over there. Yes. Anyways, hello. My name is Noah Helander. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a trans gay male. During the beginning of my transition, I needed to be hospitalized for my mental health. The hospital separated us by sex, and I was put in the girls' section. Staff members told me I was not allowed to have a roommate, solely because I am trans. I was furious and humiliated, to say the least. When I was discharged, it didn't take long for me to find my way back into a spiral down. I thought my transition was a burden to those around me. I didn't want... I didn't want to feel dysphoric like I did in the hospital. I even considered transitioning back, even though I would not be happy. Hold on, it's cold, so I can't turn these pages. Okay. When I got back to school, I cut my hair shorter and I wore more masculine clothing to feel euphoric and more like myself. I started making friends, and I listened to their stories of what their journey was like. Hold on. I have always struggled with fully opening myself up to people, even my therapist. Because of that, I have bottled up my emotions. The transphobic bills that are being proposed and passed are not helping with it at all. I still struggle with depression and something else that I don't... Okay. And anxiety. I, like 41% of transgender youth, have seriously considered suicide. 18% of transgender youth have actually attempted. I am part of that 18%. Over the past 3 years, I have lived authentically as myself.
As you should!
My mental health has improved. I am now getting better, but with these 9 anti-trans bills making their way through the Kentucky legislature, I've started to fall back into a mental health spiral. That does not mean I will give up. Many trans people feel this way, and it is a terrifying experience. No one should have to fear for their safety. I am fortunate enough to have a therapist, but many people don't, and many people don't have that privilege. Trans people existing are not a threat to anyone. We are merely fighting to maintain the most basic human rights. All of you are loved and valued. We must keep fighting until everyone has the ability to live safely and authentically. Thank you for showing up today to support your fellow... to support us. Let us work together to keep our schools safe.
Thank you, Noah. That was wonderful. Next up, I would like to welcome June.
Hello, everyone. My name is June Wagner, and I go by they, them pronouns. I am a non-binary transgender student at Danville High School. I've spoken at rallies before, and I even conducted 2 protests at my school. I'm only 17 years of age, and yet I'm facing a difficult battle against my own government. My own government is working against me. They are working against all of us. The people who are supposed to be representing the majority are certainly not doing their damn job. 71% of Kentuckians are against Senate Bill 150, and yet our legislators are just playing political games. Whether their game is to take away bodily autonomy from every type of human being they can think of, other than, of course, the cisgendered, heterosexual white man. Whether their game is to stick it to the Democrats, whether their game is for all Republicans to completely control all political spots, they are still not doing their job. They are not doing the job that they were put in these positions to do, and they are bringing innocent human beings into this. But if they aren't doing their job, the least we can do is make them listen to us. We will scream at the top of our lungs and beg for our rights to live and be ourselves. We will yell shame at every single person who supports this bill. We will be heard. No matter how much my voice hurts, I will continue screaming. I will continue fighting until they stop taking away the rights human beings should have in the first place. My life as of recently has revolved around this disgusting bill. I keep watching and waiting for any new developments. I am always on edge. It's eating away at me. I've missed so much school to attend rallies and hearings. The anti-trans movement by legislators came out of nowhere, and since then my life has been flipped upside down. It is terrifying to look into the eyes of legislators who just want you to disappear, and I've even talked to one in person. Senator Mays Bledsoe, I looked you in the eyes and begged you to please oppose this bill, and you responded by saying this bill was, quote, nothing to worry about, and then you voted for it. How heartless do you have to be to lie to the faces of kids and tell them that they will be all right when you're actively working against them? I have cried over this situation over and over again. I feel helpless when I know that I'm doing all that I can. How can I, a 17-year-old kid, truly make my voice heard? But I'm doing it right now. My life is not something to be swept under a rug. My identity should not be put on hold until I turn 18. I'm so close to turning 18. November is only in 7 months. I know I can hold out to then, but I don't want to. And I know if I was 15 again and this bill passed, I wouldn't be here. But many other transgender kids are not in my situation, and they are a ways away from turning 18. And here's what I have to say to them. This bill may pass, but you don't have to. There will be ways to get around this stupid law. We all know this. You don't have to lose hope because this is not over. Not even close. The fighting will never cease until we get what we need. We are all fighting for you so you can live and thrive by truly being yourselves. And I know you will. We know you will. We will get what we need. Thank you.
Good job. All right, next up we have Max. Hey! How are you guys doing? All right. I'm Max, as she said, and I'm going to be reading a poem. Hate. What a word. A word that describes the way your community strips mine of its pride. But what do I know? I'm just a kid. I'm under 18. What do you mean? I mean, I can't make decisions for myself. You have to deal with the cards you've been dealt. A country of freedom, where we are beaten and mistreated, using excuses to hide their abuses. It's to protect the children. Yet the kids I know are not being protected. They scream as their rights are being rejected. Kids who are protected can live as they truly are, not have to keep their identity hidden, inflicting them with these invisible scars. It's completely bizarre. That the people who aren't a part of our community get to dismantle our humanity. We don't have anything else left to give, but please, let us live! Thank you, guys. Thank you, Max. Now I would like to welcome Sam.
Hello. My name is Sam. My pronouns are he, him. I'm an 8th grader at Westport Middle School, and I am transgender. I have been out as transgender for 2 years now, but I have been trans since the day that I was born. It was not obvious to some, but it has always been there for me. Longing to shop in the men's section in stores like American Eagle and Target, but being afraid of judgment or ridicule. Regularly telling people I was a boy on Animal Jam or Roblox. Or an overwhelming feeling of dread every time I tried to imagine myself as an adult. These are only a handful of examples how I have felt different. I haven't always known that I'm trans. It has lived dormant in my mind until the age of 12. That's the age I first knew that I was queer. I didn't always have the word for it, but I've always known that something wasn't quite right. I learned about puberty blockers through my school's Gay Straight Alliance, thank you, Mr. Boone. And I worked for months through therapy and doctor's appointments to get where I am today. I have been on puberty blockers for a little over 5 months now, and the idea of having that taken away from me or another trans kid terrifies me, and I hope it terrifies you too. What a lot of people don't understand is how difficult this is, to have adult people toy with my rights and my future like it's nothing. I'm not confused or being indoctrinated by our schools. In the classroom, it is where we even discuss queer people. The subject makes so many people uncomfortable already, and these bills have introduced so much more controversy and discomfort around people like me. Kentucky should feel like home to me, but it's different to find comfort in a place that is so obviously pushing me away. I'm here because I'm angry, and I'm sad, and I'm disappointed that my own state has let me down. It has let so many of us down. I deserve the right to not be discriminated against in my school, my doctor's office, or in a hospital. Thank you.
All right, now I have one final student you're going to hear from. This is a very important person. This is Kinsey Roller, who organized, our lead organizer of this whole thing. So please welcome them.
I didn't make a great poem like Max. Thanks. I didn't make a great poem like Max did. That was really good, Max. You did a great job. But I did write one about my experience going through the education system and, just my experience of being an LGBTQ plus youth. I've always been told that, being gay is a choice. It's not.
You tell us!
So I wrote a poem about that, of, finally coming to the realization, or, not coming to the realization, because I've always known.
Come on now.
I don't know when I realized it. Perhaps it was the stolen glances that might have marked the beginning. A little too long of a stare at the girl in front of the class with a beautiful ponytail, not a hair out of place, and her bright smile was unfettered. Perhaps it was my very first kiss. My close friend wanted to practice and stated that kissing a girl did not count. She tasted quite sweet. And still to this day, I continue to brush my lips whenever I walk past the market stand. Perhaps it was the moment one of my friends had the strength to speak her truth. My coach approached her and said that the other girls would feel more at ease if she changed in the bathroom instead of the locker room. I couldn't sleep that night. It's possible that it cannot be reduced to one pinpoint moment, and that one day I woke up ready to be honest to my sobbing reflection in the bathroom mirror. I don't know when I realized it, but maybe I have always known. From a young age, I have always known that I was a little different from other girls at the time. I didn't have crushes on the boys. I didn't even get butterflies when I was looking at the popular boys. Even when I came out, I still felt like I didn't belong. I could not help but feel like a key part of the lesbian experience is loneliness. It is so isolating to be a queer-presenting woman in society that is designed around women needing men. I felt disconnected from my peers growing up. I could never relate to the teenage trouble with my boys having problems, or my friends having problems with boys. You know, that's not a thing when you like the same gender. Even now, every time I come to the realization that I cannot love a man, some part of me feels so broken, like I am failing at the one thing that I was created to do. Coming into my freshman year of high school, I was recommended to go to our LGBTQ+ alliance that we had. It wasn't until then I started to feel a source of support as a queer individual in our community. I couldn't imagine where I would be now or what I would be doing if I didn't meet these amazing people in front of me today. I love you too, B. These bills go against everything that helped me become the person I am now. If these bills are passed, students won't have the opportunity to join these groups like I have the privilege to do now. They won't have a safe place to share their feelings, and the school environment will feel uninviting, just as it did for me before I knew about our Pride Alliance. Some of these kids have non-supporting parents who will kick them out, send them to therapy to fix their issues, or beat them until they're fixed. These bills will ruin the LGBTQ+ youth community. The suicide rates will go up, and to the government officials, Max-wise, I want you to know that if this bill is passed and anything happens to the trans youth after this bill, it is on your hands. Thank you. My bad, I forgot one more thing. As of now, if anybody is willing and able to, I would like to perform a die-in. If you all, for the next couple minutes, would like to sit or lay down on the ground to visualize to our government officials how many kids will be affected after this bill is passed, that would be appreciated.
If you would like to remain seated, you can. If you'd like to stand up for our next guest speaker, we have Skylar Lowe. She is they are a trans therapist. They're going to be speaking about their experience and the stats of all of you all sitting down right now.
My name is Skylar Lowe. My pronouns are they, them. I am a trans non-binary therapist who works with queer and trans teens and adults in the state of Kentucky. SB 150 puts Kentucky's youth at risk. If it were really about protecting the youth, we would yield to studies like the 2018 article in volume 142 of the Journal of Pediatrics that found that transgender children 12 years of age and younger who were given access to care, including support of social transition, hormone blockers, and replacements only after the onset of puberty, experienced similar rates of depression and anxiety to their cisgender peers. Meanwhile, 36% of those 7 to 12 who didn't have supportive care already met criteria for anxiety and depressive disorders with a high risk of suicidality. Our community faces high risk not because we're trans, but because of sentiments like far too many of our General Assembly are pushing. According to the 2015 U.S. Trans Survey, more than 40% of trans Americans attempt suicide in their lifetime, 9 times higher than the general population rate of approximately 4.6%. 7% attempt a year, nearly 12 times higher than the general population rate of 0.6%. The top cited reasons are rejection from loved ones, societal hate, and a lack of support and a lack of access to care. You've heard from some of our General Assembly members that have claimed that trans and non-binary are new concepts. They've claimed that the research is sparse. They've claimed there is no evidence that there is harm for minors denied access to gender-affirming care. In reality, trans and non-binary people have existed as long as we've had records of people. The difference now is that we've stopped hiding in the shadows. We have research readily available going back to the first modern trans clinic, the Institute for Sexualwissenschaft, established in Berlin, Germany in 1919. And in fact, we'd have a lot more research if that specific clinic hadn't been burned by Nazis on May 6th of 1933, where they held similar sentiments to what we're hearing now, that it was to protect the children. It was not about the children then, and it's not about protecting children now. Studies from multiple specialties across multiple countries affirm a substantial increased risk of suicide in gender questioning, genderqueer, and trans youth who are not provided with gender supportive care. For those of you concerned about what if they get it wrong, we hear you. There are already processes in place to screen for that, and they are lengthy and in-depth, and they are already traumatic. No minor is walking into a medical office in Kentucky and walking out with blockers and hormones. I wasn't even able to do that, and I am almost 30. This so-called family foundation peddling bills like SB 150 and bills similar to it across the country are working on the blatantly false notion that 12-year-olds are having surgery. That is not happening in the state of Kentucky, and this bill reaches so far beyond that. They call it irreversible damage, but forcing someone to go through puberty that's incongruent with their mind is traumatic and in many ways irreversible. My first memory of saying I was not a boy or a girl was at 8 years old, where I was met with pushback. A lot of people in Kentucky had no clue what trans was back then, let alone non-binary. When I started puberty, my brain had alarm bells going off. I can remember my parents finding me sobbing on my bedroom floor about my development. I started by self-harming, and by 16, I believed no one would ever understand me. And I will not forget the night my parents took me to the hospital for an evaluation. I was trying to end my life. I fully believe that if I had had access to gender-affirming care as a minor, that wouldn't have happened, because my suicidal ideation has exponentially decreased since coming out and beginning this care as an adult. No healthcare professional, myself included, and no trans person, myself included, wants to convince any child who is not trans that they are trans. What we don't want is the trans youth in this Commonwealth facing the feelings of worthlessness, loss of hope, and isolation that can and will lead to suicide attempts like I faced at 16. While lobbyists are pushing a narrative of irreversible damage without being able to present a single Kentucky resident who has received this negligent medical care, think of the irreversible joy we could see if we supported this Commonwealth youth for who they are, however that may be. For the trans, queer, and questioning Kentucky youth who can hear my voice right now, I want you to know, whatever happens with SB 150, we are not giving up on you. Queer and trans adults fighting for our rights when I was younger is a big reason that I am still here. I feel comfortable speaking for both the mental health professionals and the queer and trans adults in this Commonwealth when I say, we love you, we need you, you are important, you matter, each and every one of you. And in case you haven't heard, we are done being erased. If you guys could stand up and say it with me. We are done being erased. We are done being erased. being erased.
I didn't know if we were continuing. Let's do it one more time. Done being erased! All right. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is I've been in charge of getting speakers up here and getting them to speak, obviously. And one of the things that I've realized is that these bills are making it very hard for a lot of kids to raise their voice. And I want to take a moment to put my heart out there for all of the kids that are scared to stand up. Because that's what this is doing. This is making kids scared to get up there, scared to do things that they love, all because they want to be who they are. And so now, for the rest of this rally, we're going to be reading anonymous messages that we have received. And these anonymous messages that I have gotten and I have had to go through and read, I've cried a couple times. It's really sad. So, I'm going to have Africa come up here and help me, and she's going to get started with a couple anonymous messages that we received from our school, and then we're going to move forward.
We created a Google form that asked multiple questions. The first question that was asked was, how will Senate Bill 150 affect you and others around you? One person said, it would make many students who are maybe not open with what pronouns they prefer or what they identify as unsafe. Many do not tell their ones at home because the people at home are often against it and put them in harm's way. Another student's response was, my transition saved my life. Not being misgendered constantly has kept me from considering suicide. It has also done this for many of my transgender friends/peers. Not having that anymore will lead many transgender youth to commit suicide. Senate Bill 150 would affect my non-cisgender peers around me by causing them gender dysphoria, which has the symptoms of stress and such. These negative feelings would impact their personal and educational life by dismotivating them. Another student's response was, it will affect me because I am a trans person who is not out to my parents, and I don't know if they would respond kindly. Another person also said, it affects me and my peers because it takes away our rights to privacy. Most of the students will be affected mentally by not being able to come out on their own. The next question that we asked was, if you could speak to a government official, what would you say to them? One student would say, what I chose to identify and define myself as is my choice, and who I choose to inform is just as well my choice. I should not have any adult, especially in a school building, meant for educating us on school-related topics, tell anyone information that I don't want to be told or feel unsafe doing so. By approving this, you are putting hundreds of children in harm's way. So please choose wisely and realize how much your vote affects us and the future generations to come. Another student said, taking away a person's identity and forcing them to be treated one way isn't right in any way, shape, or form. Senate Bill 150 has zero positive outcome. It will only cause more issues for the students. Students who don't tell their parents these things have their reasons, and it's not right for the education system to take away the choice from them. Outing them in this manner will only bring pain to them, and there's some students who simply can't take it. Another student's response was that they are putting LGBTQIA+ at danger and backing children into a corner and making them question if they should still be alive. Another student said, students are already packed with stress. It is not difficult to respect one's pronouns. The little things could change a whole student's feelings. You say mental health is important, but support enduring transgender mental health just because they identify different than you. Another student said, school used to be people's safe place. Kids that don't have safe home lives used to be able to seek refuge and have peace at school. What happened? Why are we taking away children's basic human rights to their identities? Why can't we be free anymore? Another student said, "There is some confidentiality between yourself and the teacher. Sometimes the teacher is the only thing a student might have to a safe space to express such feelings without getting verbally harassed or physically harassed. Think about it like this. If you were to have said something super secret to a friend that you really trust and they have to tell the people you're afraid of telling, would you feel great about being on the other side? So don't pass this bill. This will affect more lives and worsen them more than you think. Thank you for your time." The last question that we asked was, do you have any other comments or statements? And somebody said, "I'm scared of losing the ones I love because of the bill, including my boyfriend." Thank you for your time.
All right, now I will read some anonymous statements from Atherton High School. Hello, thank you. These are from Atherton High School. I am a freshman at Atherton High. I came out as transgender in 2017 while I was in 4th grade in Boyd County. My elementary school didn't have any adaptations for a trans student, which left me isolated on more than one occasion. There were mandatory bathroom breaks and no gender-neutral bathrooms available to students twice a day, and gendered lunch seating to prevent any intimacy. Due to both of these gendered separated times of my day, I got singled out. To top that off, I would be bullied by other students and teachers wouldn't, even when prompted, do anything to stop and would regularly dead name and misgender me. While I had a supporting family, I know many don't. I struggled a lot for the first few years after my transition, before I had a stable home and school life. With all of that considered, I couldn't imagine having to worry about it being illegal to be myself. I am pleading that you do everything in your personal power to prevent kids from having to watch their world fall apart in front of them because they thought they would be supported in who they are by those closest to them, are those that have to watch their families grow to hate them because their teacher becomes legally obligated to tell their parents that they have a gay or trans kid regardless of safety concerns. If we are supposed to be living in America, the land of the free, then why am I not free to be me? Another student said, "I found out that I was trans back in the summer of 8th grade. I first came out to my best friend. I held off telling my parents due to being scared of their reactions. After telling my parents, I told my therapist. He would often ask me questions about why I felt the way I did. This went on for some while. I later found out that my therapist at the time just told my parents that the way I was feeling was a phase. I often found myself listening to a song called The Village by Rabble. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I would find myself crying to this song. There was a part of the song that hit me the most. No, your mom don't get it, and your dad don't get it. Uncle John don't get it, and you can't tell Grandma, because her heart can't take it, and she might not make it. They say, sorry, don't dare, don't you even go there. Cutting off your long hair, you do as you're told. Tell you, wake up, go put on your makeup. This is just a phase you're gonna outgrow. This part hit me hard because I felt like I had no one to go to, no one who would understand. I felt like I was wrong, that what I was doing wasn't okay, that I wasn't normal. For the longest time, I never said anything more because I didn't like the fact that my parents thought that it was just a phase that I would outgrow. It hurt because to me, it felt as though they didn't believe me. I went through times where I thought that maybe I should just accept the fact that I was born a female, that I shouldn't try to push how I identified. Oftentimes, I had thought of just ending it all. I had thought that it would be the easiest thing to do if I ended it all. I wouldn't have to constantly try to tell people that I wasn't going through a phase, that there wasn't anything wrong with me, that I wasn't doing this for attention. It got better, my parents came around. They made some changes here and there, but I know that they make some mistakes here and there, but I know that they're trying. But on October 20th, 2022, things changed. I got overstressed, and after someone made a comment to me, I tried to kill myself. Their comment made me come to terms with reality. They said, "You know, even if you get all these surgeries, you'll never be an actual guy. You weren't born a male, and you'll just have to live with that knowledge." Bullshit! I came home that night frustrated and irritated. I was hurt. I didn't want my parents to know. Memories with what I had to go through just to be accepted by people I loved and cared about came rushing back to me. All those doubts and insecurities hit me. I had never been more emotionally damaged than I was right then, so I tried to kill myself. I was done living like that. I was done letting people tell me what was right and what was wrong. I was done with people not believing me. I just wanted it all to end. This is what happened to me, but this could be a huge factor in someone else's life. This could be the choice that decides whether or not someone will stay on this earth on this day next year. So please think hard about your decisions. I've had to go through so much heartache and struggle. Please do not do this to someone else. Give me 1 second, I'm sorry guys. The idea of writing something is terrifying enough without it being about myself. I struggle to put in words what I think about a lot of different subjects. I think it's stupid to mandate how young people are allowed to express themselves. If my mom's high school best friend went by his favorite goth-sounding name, my best friends can go by whatever 3-letter names they dig out of the ground. And of course, treatment saves lives. My trans siblings have both struggled with their mental health for a long, long time, and gender was only part of it. One of them is almost 18 now, and he's been on testosterone for a couple months, I think. He's got a mustache growing in, and his voice is puberty scratchy, and he's been doing so much better than he has been for years before. Starting T was only part of that, but it was part of it. He's more comfortable in his own skin, more confident in himself, and even though his teachers and classmates continue to deny who he is, he's surviving. He's doing better than my other sibling, who barely talks and hates to touch, and has told me before how much they want to die. That is not, never could be, the fault of their gender. It doesn't affect how they view their sex. I have never had a teacher tell me I was trans. No one has ever told me that my gender is queer or that I am not straight, except that one kid at the start of 7th grade who suggested I'm queer because I didn't know who I liked. I've never checked a queer book out from a school library. I've never been forced by a teacher to wear a skirt. I have been told that I am a girl. I have read books that told me every girl loves boys, every girl will be a woman. I have heard from my siblings that you can walk in a class with a trans flag on your face and still be called something you are not. It's difficult to talk about subjects like these when I myself only have limited experience. The only person who has insisted to my face that I am lying about myself is my dad. I've been lucky enough to attend schools where no one beats me and only one person who calls me a fag, yeah, just a touchy word there, is my best friend, my ex, with a grin on her face. The only people who see a trans student's genitals are the students themselves and a stranger peeping through a stall. The only person who's told me that they were bothered by a person of another sex in the bathroom was a cis boy in the girls' room complaining about a trans girl. It's really hard to find a penis in the girls' room. I should know, I'm in there every single day. A friend who I sometimes call one of my kids was going to start puberty blockers soon. That meant their sex hormones would be released far less, delaying their puberty, not changing anything else. They're a freshman in high school. They're terrified to tell their dad that they're queer because he kicked out their sibling. They'd have to tell him to get blockers because both parents need to sign. So the idea that they'd start was a very high hope, but now they can't and they've put all this weight on the possibility. The court case to change custody to 80-20 didn't go through. They have few friends, fewer at school. I think they're still in class with people who sexually assaulted them in middle school, calling them gay and a girl and telling them that they wanted it. My phone just went off. One of my favorite exes is a newly out trans woman whose dad continues to deny her gender. He rejected her sexuality over and over, and she brought home boys and screwed them over. She's messed up, and most students our age hate her, but at least when people hate her here, they have the decency to call her human. She's extremely stressed out because from what she's seen, the signs are pointing towards genocide. She's been planning to move out of the state for years, but she's worried she'll have to move out of the country, and I can't say anything because nothing I do will tell her that that's not true. We can't know what people will do next, and we can't even tell them our names. One second, guys. Sorry guys, we lost Kinsey for a second. We're gonna go find her. So we have about 7 minutes left, and I want to take the final moments of this rally, whether you choose to stay or not. We're out of here out of 7 minutes. I want to I want to chant something. Now, I don't know many chants, so if anyone has any that they want to do, please start one. We're no fear! No fear! We are queer! 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 No fear! I found Kinsey, guys!
Closing statements. Oh, closing statements. Like I said in the beginning, I just want to thank everyone for. This is our closing statements from Maddie. Thank you for that. I just want to thank everyone again and again and again. There are no words that I can say that can begin to amount to how thankful I am that everybody showed up and supported us. You know, this wouldn't have been a thing if you all didn't reach out to others and share that the rally was this big. You know, when I showed up, I didn't expect for there to be, how many people do you think are here?
A lot.
A lot? Yeah.
How many people does it sound like?
A lot. You know, we only expected about, maybe 150 people to be here, so for there to be me to look in the crowd and, me speak and everybody just cheer, that's... I think that, especially with the government officials in here, I really think that gets their attention, and that was the whole point of, this rally. So I just want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. It's a privilege and an honor to, be up here and be able to organize this and have everybody come together. Thank you.
Again, I just want to say as we're closing up, Kentuckians for the Commonwealth, their voter registration booth is over there. Please go register to vote. Yes. Thank you guys for coming out. It's a lot different seeing it in person. And thank you. I love you all. Go get water, go hydrate, go chant, go do everything. We're queer, we're here! Hello, everyone, real quick. While we still have just a little bit more time, there's one student who wants to read a poem, and I am going to let him read the poem because student voices matter.
Sorry for the sudden interruption. I'm bringing up the poem right now.
It's okay.
Okay. I love you too. Let me pull it up right now. So, the poem is called "We Are Trans and We Are Forever." The definition of radical is that which is, sorry, it's really bright outside. Okay, my brightness is a little way up. All right. The definition of radical is that which is far-reaching in a quest for change, for that change to be seen as so thorough that it alters the fundamental nature of something. It should then be made clear in facing your fear that what you see in us is not extreme nor extremist, but merely radical, because 1 and 2 are not the same. For before and beyond the likes of Hirschfield's study in sorry, I skipped ahead. Alright, it should then be made clear in facing your fear that what you see in us is not extreme nor extremist, but merely radical, because 1 and 2 are not the same. For while we are not inciting crimes against humanity, we are, through merely existing, crimes against the status quo. For before and beyond the likes of Hirschfield's study in 1910, and past the Nazis' burning of the Institute for the Science of Sexuality in Germany, the quote-unquote Western world has fabricated and long upheld its simple worldviews to the detriment of our complex people, shoving us in boxes with the force of 10 oxes, and telling us what to do, what we wear, swear to others as duty of our gender identity, shoving us in boxes so forcefully as to non-consensually reassign the sexes of our intersex siblings after birth. Because in a world where most digits are 0 or 1, you see a 2 and conclude the problem must be the code and not the binary translator you're using to interpret it. The Matrix was made by 2 trans women and you still didn't put together that the movie was about us. The red pill is a metaphor for estrogen, by the way. But in spite of collective ignorance, in spite of our numbers, we were always there and we will always be here. From now until the end of humanity, and from then to back again, when a Jewish trans girl in 1322 wrote a poem praying to God to one day be blessed by his grace and made into a woman. We were there when you policed our dressing. We were there when you raided our inns. We were there when you beat us in the streets. We are here when your news organizations broadcast our siblings being themselves, news hosts slinking and nudging the violent minority of their audience to drive to a small nightclub in Colorado Springs to kill 5 people and wound 25 others. We were there before, during, and after it all. So if you think these laws are going to erase us, do yourself a favor and think again. Because while these bills may take young lives, and that thought on its own is enough to cut through my skin and scratch at my bones, I know we are strong, we are resilient, and we will continue to exist even if you lined us all up and shot each one of us in the head. We will do whatever it takes to survive. We are trans, and we are forever.
Bye, guys.
Whoa. Don't bye, guys. I'm sorry. I know that the youth have to go, but the lawmakers are still here, and they're going to try and overturn that veto today and tomorrow. So we need to keep people here. I know Center College had some folks that wanted to come up and speak, so if there's a representative from Center College, please come to the mic. Let's keep people going, because we have this fight all day long. So please don't go. Turn your back on the kids that spoke this morning, okay? Stay here for them. And if we can't get anybody from Center College, then yeah, we're heading over to the Capitol today to keep the pressure on them. So if all of our youth speakers are done, we have one more? Okay, all right.
I was too scared to go in the actual thing, but I feel the need to speak now. I am 16 years old. I am trans, and I use he/him pronouns. And I'm scared right now because this bill attacks every aspect of my life. It attacks my school. It attacks my bathroom use. It attacks what I'm allowed to talk about in my school. Oh, I put something together. Can I pull that up real quick? I'm sorry. Oh, it is? Okay. This bill isn't about protecting our children. This bill... The people fighting to protect our children are right here today fighting with us. None of this is protecting children. This is a war against Kentucky's children. This is a war against all of us. This is a last-ditch effort by the losing side to hurt as many of us as they can, and I can't say that it doesn't hurt. But I can say that I have hope. I can say that I have faith. I can say that not in God, but faith in my community. I have faith in each and every one of you. I have faith that we are going to come together. And that we are going to support each other. And that we are going to get through this. We are going to kick them out of their comfy little seats in Congress, and we are going to put actual Kentuckians in their place. We are stronger than they give us credit for. I have seen firsthand the things this community can do for each other, and just how powerful we are. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being here for each other. Thank you for being here for your children, for your friends, for your family. It is going to be rough going forward, but if we can keep an ounce of this energy, an ounce of this community, then I have hope. I have hope.
The people asking if they work know.
Hi.
These are mostly high school students who fucking
I'm Xavier Smith from Male High. I would like to say to all the lawmakers who are prohibiting me and my community from existing practically, and who are scared of us for no reason, I like to say, ooga booga. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna show you my anger. I'm gonna show my community. I'm going to represent. I don't care if you think my life doesn't matter. It does. You have no right. You can't tell me otherwise. I am a queer black man. I said it once, say it 1,000 million times. I am queer, and there is no fear behind it.
Wait, I didn't think I'd be doing this. Okay, hi. My name is Milo Sather. I'm an 8th grader at Crosby Middle School. I am transgender. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm going to be reading a poem that I wrote for a poetry slam. K-Mac Louisville, we love you. It's a little bit longer, and it's got a lot of metaphor, but I hope you'll enjoy it. You pull out your yellow caution tape and stretch it out firmly. Like in the movies where the bad guy is about to kidnap someone, or if an interrogee has been talking too much and they're about to duct tape his words away, stomp out his vocal cords. You grin at the face of the earth sadistically. You hold your power above it like a ticking time bomb you have no intention to use the code to. You have a hatred inside you, like any supervillain. And while you may have this anger, this burning obsession to take down your adversaries, you are the furthest thing from justified. What is your agenda? World domination? No, it isn't. You may be along the lines of that one day, but for now you've settled your eyes on innocent human beings, innocent people who simply want to love, who simply want to be. It was all, believe in yourself, kids. You can be anything you want to be in the US of A. Until a biological female just wants to be a boy, just wants to be respected, wants to express his gender and identity in a way that violates your nuclear standard. And it's funny that it's called nuclear, because that criteria you hold so dearly is on the brink of explosion, and I cannot tell you how much I anticipate it. Your caution tape is not telling people to avoid a police line at a crime scene. It isn't even the shitty Halloween caution tape for $8.49 on Amazon. It is custom made, tailored. It offers a word of warning. Caution, do not be yourself. Caution, do not tell anyone what you're not prepared to be called into the office about. Caution, don't say gay. The bill was proposed like a magical artifact, dangerous and mysterious, held by a cast of supervillains who call themselves the Kentucky Senators. And despite the pleas who begged from kids aged 11 to 17 who simply want to exist without harm, the artifact was activated. I can no longer go to my teachers and have my pronouns and name respected by default, something that for some reason is not considered basic human decency. I can no longer go to my teachers, period. I am lucky. I get called slurs and targeted with death and rape threats on the daily, and I am still lucky compared to many of my peers. I am in a school environment where I am out freely. I don't have to worry if they're going to bully or beat me if they find out I'm not a girl. I don't have to fear living on the streets. But guess what? Many of my friends cannot say the same. Our basic desire for respect has been tarnished and its corpse spat on. You have wrapped me in your caution tape. You have taken a burning siege of whiteout, attempting to censor us, to cover up everything you don't want to see. Well, I'll tell you what, Senator Max Wise, Senator Gary Boswell, Senator Danny Carroll, your caution tape is bullshit, and so are you. You swore on a book to protect, to serve, and make this country better, but you have set it alight and pissed on the ashes, Matthew 22:39. Love thy neighbor as thyself, asterisk. Love thy neighbor if he is a straight white male who's submissive enough to stay quiet under your tyranny. Demolish thy neighbor if they aren't. I am scared, America. I am scared. Senators, I am quaking in my flamboyantly gay dialogue and appearance. I am booking the next flight to the Antarctic as fast as possible, where you cannot wrap me in layers and layers of tape and warn others of my existence. I am sick to my stomach. I would say I don't consent to be censored like this. I don't agree with your decision, and I think you're a monster for it, but that won't change anything. Not yet, and I don't think anything will.
The mic is hot. That mic is hot. I appreciate you all staying around. We need to make sure that we're sticking up for the kids. They have to be at school doing what kids are supposed to do. which is go to school and not have to fight for basic health care. Okay, so what we're doing, and I'm so glad you all are sticking around, is we're going to raise our voices and make ourselves heard. The Senate is going to be voting to overturn the veto first. So let's tell the senators that we're not going to put up with it, and we're going to stick around until this legislation is dead. All right, so stick around for this, or head into the Senate side of the rotunda, which is over that way, okay? So inside the Capitol, over there. But we have more trans kids, more genderqueer kids coming to get us hyped up and tell us why we're here today.
Hey friends, this is Em, your friendly street medic again. Just a reminder, as you are leaving the rally or going anywhere on these grounds, please make sure you are using a buddy or group system. Other folks counter to our values and beliefs and ideologies are here. They are showing up. They are also showing up over there. So we need our adults to protect our youth, hold that barrier, right? Don't engage and try to de-escalate any situations that you see, all right? Young folks, be strong. Once again, don't engage. They're not worth your time. They're not worth our energy, right? We're gonna deliver our messages to the people that count, the people who are calling for this vote. Not these people passing out hate literature and showing up with signs telling us that we're wrong for being who we are, right? Amen. Also, don't forget to drink some water.
Thank you. And,
Hi, my name's Sage. Sage Justice to be exact, and that's what I do. I serve justice. I'm 16, I'm a junior in high school, and I love my community. Anything I can't do on my own, my community can help me to do. My family is queer. I went to Pride for the first time at age 10. I still get the same feeling I did that day every time I walk into a space I know I am safe in. That feeling of love and acceptance for who I am, no matter what. There's no hate speech in a queer space, in a safe space. I grew up in a broken house with an abusive father, but the queer community is safe. They are my true family. Yes! We cannot let our government do this to us. We cannot let our government go back to the racist, bigoted Jim Crow era of the South. It was never about water fountains, and it's not about bathrooms now. We are the next target for their hate. We have to fight back if we want to win, especially those who are more privileged than others, like myself, who happens to be white and have an accepting family. We have to stand up together as a community to fight it.
Hi, I'm Soda. I'm non-binary, I'm 15, and I'm a freshman at Atherton High School. Don't mind my voice, I'm very nervous. Through my life, and many people have dealt with this too, there's a lot of self-hatred, and it's difficult to exist in general, and it's hard to exist being trans or non-binary or anywhere under that umbrella. Especially now, with these laws and everything. It's scary, it's hard to be alive, and I don't know how to exist. And I know a lot of us don't right now. And it's just really hard to be in a place where you don't know if you're gonna make it. You don't know if you can walk outside of your house and be okay, be safe, not have to worry about someone trying to hurt you. And I wrote a poem about self-hatred and how hard it is to just exist and try to figure yourself out. So I'm gonna read it. Now I'm tearing my skin and whispering in, desperate to fold the lies I've been told. I slowly fade, my thoughts evade, it seeps through my bones, my lungs feel like stones, my arms they ache. What more can they take? Scan up and down, even look around, try to find a flaw. I follow a law, don't fall, stand tall, and yet I sink into my bed, the only place for my weary head. Cries fill the night, was there ever any light? I try with my might to silence her plight, but with no avail I fail. My heart of gold didn't fill the mold, so I turned to dust and was gone. Thank you.
Alright, what's going on, everyone? I'm Amber. I use she, they, pronouns within me, girl. And, you know, I consider myself to be one of the luckiest LGBTQ plus people that I know. I have a very safe home and school environment, and I know that if this bill does pass, I know I will be able to handle it. I know how to deal with myself. I'm a lot stronger mentally than most people that I know. But I can count so many people that are, I'm not going to mince words here, I can think of more people than I have fingers off the top of my head that would probably kill themselves if this went through. And school is their one safe environment, and it's being taken away from them. And that hurts a lot. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Emerson Speltz. I use they, them pronouns, and I am an 8th grader at Madison Middle School. So, I am here today, obviously, to advocate for myself and other people, and I have tried to be an advocate in my school as much as possible to give people who don't have a supportive environment in their homes a place to feel safe. And I have some pretty awesome teachers. Miss Snell is out there, she's with us today, who created a beautiful safe space in her classroom. She was my 7th grade math teacher, and she was amazing, my most supportive teacher I've ever had. Immediately in her classroom on the second day, I knew I was safe. I knew that that was a place where I could be myself and she would protect me, and that's pretty awesome. And a lot of kids don't have that. I have fairly supportive teachers. I have teachers who really try and they forget the pronouns sometimes, but that's okay. I live with a supportive family and other queer people in my family, and I think that it is so important to have our rights and have people fighting for them. And my sister is at her college and she's fighting for this just the same. And I want to be an advocate, and I myself struggled with suicidal ideation before going into the 7th grade. It was my first year out and I was scared to death of what would happen. And I was hospitalized twice for suicidal ideation, once before 7th grade and once in the middle of 7th grade. And I was struggling so much and in such a deep form of depression, and it's hard to see all of this happening again over the past 2 years. It has been a nonstop attack on trans people all over the country, and honestly, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say to this because I don't know how to get my voice across in a place where I feel like my voice is being drowned out. So today I'm standing in front of a microphone in the capital of Kentucky, and that's awesome. And I am so thankful for my teachers and my family and all of my friends, and I know that there are people here that I can see that are going to help, and they are going to fight for me. And thank you so much, because we couldn't do this without the adults who are voting and helping and rallying, because a lot of government people think we don't matter until we can vote for them because we're just a vote. But we're not just a vote, we are people. And so thank you for being our voices when no one wants to listen. And thank you for giving me and other people this microphone to elevate our voices. And I hope the people in the Senate and the House hear us. Hear us when we say that We will fight back, and if you do this now, we will get you later. You will not stay in office if you do this because you can see the people across the lawn. So take notice of that, and do not overturn the veto!
Hello, my name is Zoe Johnson. I'm a student, sophomore at least, at Lafayette. And starting off, I just want to say I'm nervous. I'm only 15, and here I am, speaking out for mine and so many other people's rights that are so important. How could I not be nervous? Because I've always believed that, I'm always told that as a kid, that there is just so much that I can do. Kids are the future, and I know that to be true, but I still have these thoughts telling me I'm only a kid. Who's gonna listen to me? But it's seeing all of these people and hearing the voices. When I was walking in from the car, I could hear us chanting. Just hear you all chanting, and that's what gives me hope for the future. When I look out across this lawn, I see color, and that is what is so beautiful to me, because there is a wide range of colors that are visible on the spectrum that humans can see. But there are even colors that others can see that we cannot see, but that does not mean that they are not there. That doesn't mean that they are not to be respected as being there, and that means that we have to understand that those people, yes, all of those people that have come here today, all of the people, they matter. They take up space in this world, and they should be respected for it. And it's just, there are so many people that just make it possible. Oh dear. And I want to thank my GSA sponsor for this analogy that I'm about to use, but it's like intersectionality in a road. The more intersections you add, the more dangerous it can be. But that doesn't mean they're any less important, because I may not cover every single intersection, but I am there to respect these other intersections, and I know that you are too. I respect people that don't follow the gender norms that people expect to put on them. I respect people that are of different color skin than me. I respect people that do not have the same physical abilities as me or mental abilities as me, because I know they are human. And all that humans deserve is the basic right to live, and here we are doing it. Thank you so much. You all are beautiful.
Alright, my name is Lee Bell, and I'm from Valley High School. I wanted to talk about someone I love very much. My boyfriend is transgender, and just this year alone, he's been assaulted 3 times by cisgender men who thought they could change his identity and fix him. So I just wanted to let you all know in this crowd today that you are normal, and your identity is not a condition, and you are not a fetish. Don't let these people take your identity away from you.
Hello, I am Daxton, an intergender middle schooler, and I know too many people who are being attacked by SB 150. I know people in my school, GSA, who have conservative parents that will start hating their children as soon as a single teacher tells their parents that their kid is trans, bi, gay, pan, anything. It is so stupid that there is even a chance that this bill could pass. If people continue supporting SB 150, we will continue fighting against it until they do something about it. If this bill passes, then I know some people will move out of the state. The thing is, what happens to the people who can't run? What happens if they don't have any option to do it? If any of these idiots who are trying to take away our rights realize how much they are hurting us, they either won't care or think we deserve this. They do not care about us, but we care about each other. If they don't acknowledge our existence, then as the signs say, they should expect our existence. They say this is to protect us, and this is doing quite the opposite. We need to fight back, and we need to stop this bill. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Sunny. I'm 15, she, they pronouns, and I go to Atherton High School. Me and many of my friends would be affected by this bill if it were to pass. I know that I'm so grateful and so lucky that I have supportive family and friends, but I know that many people don't. I've known people and had friends who have had unsupportive households, and I'm worried for them. I had a friend in middle school that tried to kill themselves because their family was unsupportive. And I'm so glad that they're alive and that the worst outcome didn't happen, but still, the fact that they were driven to that is heartbreaking. I've known friends that have struggled with eating disorders and self-harm because of all the hatred they get, and I can only imagine how much worse it will get for trans people if this bill were to pass. If this was really about protecting the kids, then why aren't my friends being protected? Why aren't they being protected when they're struggling so much?
Hey guys, my name is Seth Green, and I'm a junior at Frankfort High School, and I myself am pan. I'm not trans, and I cannot speak on behalf of all trans people, but my friend here is trans, and this bill is not going to help any trans people at all. It's not helping any kids, and the fact that this rally even has to happen, that it just has to exist, and that we have to be out here and do all this really fucking sucks. And if I'm being honest, I didn't know what I was going to say because I got here like 20 minutes ago. I don't even know what's going on, but I am really proud of all the people that I've seen here today, and all of this is really great for our community, and I really hope that this bill doesn't go through because this is protecting absolutely nobody, and it really fucking reeks.
Okay.
Expect the best, but prepare for the worst.
Sorry. So, my name is Macy. I'm from Atherton High School, like a lot of the people over here. I am not used to being cheered for. Usually I'm the one screaming at the top of my lungs to try to fix something. There's a lot of problems in the world. There's so many, and we could never fix all of them. But one of the biggest ones is that we have to sit out here and fight in the first place. That shouldn't be a question. The fact that we're out here questioning it in the first place, that is the inherent problem. It's not the problem the bill is being passed, it's the problem that we have to fight against it. It's the problem that someone even thought to try to pass it. There are so many people, even in Athens, there's 5, 6 right there. I see people in the crowd, I see a couple of my friends, a couple of people I know, and I know more than that, who could not let this bill pass and live another day happily for years, until they got out of their house, until they left, until they were kicked out of their house. That is something that cannot be an actual concern for anything to go better. It just needs to stop. Thank you, I'm getting down because I feel bad.
My name is Apollo Walker. I go to Madison Central High School. I'm a freshman. This is my sister over here, and those are my friends. You too. I am a huge rock and roll fan. I love Kiss. I love Aerosmith. I love all those guys. I think it's stupid that I have to find comfort in people that will never know me, will never know my situation, that probably don't even care about me in any way. I have to find comfort in those people instead of people that I see every single day at school, in my family, some friends. It's stupid. This law is killing people. And it's undeserved, and it's stupid that we have to be here, and I hate it, but I'm glad that we are. And my sister, she's not trans, but she gets me more than any person in the world ever could, and I love her so much. You're stupid. I have to bend down a little bit, I'm a little too tall. So, that's my little brother. I am so fucking proud of that guy. He should not have to be here today. He is 15. He should be at school. He should not be here fighting for his fucking life with you guys. He should be respected for who he is as a person. All of you are. You should not be here today. We should be living our lives normally, respected as people. This is not right. This is wrong, and everyone knows it, but they don't care. I'm so proud of all of you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. I hate that you're here, but I love it. You guys rock. You guys are awesome.
It's so intelligent. The only word that I can come up with is Trump. You're smart, guys. Real smart.
Hello. My name's Lillian. I'm 17. I go to Woodford.
Real intelligent. Real fucking intelligent, y'all. Trump's gonna go to jail though, just so you know. So that's gonna be a good thing. It's gonna be real dope. Everybody's all triggered about it too. Oh my God, Trump's not gonna go to jail. Our Lord and Savior Trump isn't gonna go to jail. Alright, y'all. Everybody tuning in on Facebook. I gotta go ahead and drop the live stream because my phone is starting to die. The rally has started to wrap up. People have kind of started to disperse. Several have gone into the Capitol, into the chambers to actually check out, the legislation that's going on at the moment. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and drop the live. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. So until next time, stay strong, stay safe.
And they weren't. This isn't protecting children or protecting